Welcome back to another episode of Making a Lego Stop Motion, featuring Johnny Thunder in the jungle. This episode, we'll be making a cave and the tunnel he falls down, starting with the cave itself. This is episode 3, the cave. We also added this bush to the jungle, which will be important in the storyline, as you'll see when the final film comes out. For the cave itself, I started with some dark bluish grey plates and connected them together with some tiles. It doesn't have to look particularly good because it won't be very visible in the frame. Next, I added some stalagmites using these cone and conical roof pieces, and then added cobwebs on top for the spider's web that he's going to fall into. I added a bunch of medium nougat spiders that I got in my pick-a-brick order and secured the webs using some snot bricks and hinge plates from the back. Moving on to the tunnel, I started with some dark bluish grey plates, 2 16x16 plates and 1 8x16 plates, making the tunnel 40 studs long. Then I added tiles on top, adding wedge plates and slopes to the side to make it seem more rocky and jagged like a cave is. I also added a spider. I chose to use some olive green and sand green plates to add some variation and interest to the cave. This is the finished cave build, and as you can see, it can be attached to the minifigure by the anti-studs on the back of the legs. However, he doesn't fit quite well with the backpack, but after I take the backpack off, he fits on the web quite well. With the right lighting, this looks quite cinematic and will look pretty good in the film. The finished shot is likely to look something like this. Moving on to the tunnel, we have one light coming in from the end, like sunlight streaming down from the entrance of the cave. It didn't quite highlight the whole cave, so in the finished shots I turned on some overhead lights as well. As you can see, we'll also be including a red panda in the film. I want the shot to be something like this shot from the Lego movie.
Hey, that's not so bad.
He's gonna fall down this tunnel, starting from the top and bouncing down to the bottom. I put a tripod above the set on a desk, and this is the view from the camera looking down at it. As you can see, there are some highlighted spots that are glaring on the camera, so I want to reverse them so that there aren't these 45 degrees angling the light from the light source reflected up into the camera. Now it looks much better and much more realistic. I'm taking some test photos, adjusting the light each time until I get a result that I'm happy with. This is what the setup looks like with my camera looking down on it from the table. I'm using my phone as a remote shutter so that I don't bump the camera when I take photos. Here are the photos of the animation, but as you can see, it looks more like a minifigure sliding across a Lego set on a carpet than a minifigure falling down a cave. So I've got to make some edits in Premiere Pro. I start by masking out the carpet and any unwanted areas, only keeping the tunnel and the cave. Next, I'm rotating it so that it's the right orientation with the light at the top. Originally I did it the wrong way around, and then I realized I had to flip it 180 degrees to get the entrance at the top, and this is what it looks like. This isn't the final animation, and I'll likely be color grading it adding sound effects and doing a lot more, but hopefully it'll turn out well in the end. That's all for this video, and I'll see you next time when we will continue the series with building the airport. And make sure to like and subscribe.